Hello, YouTubers. So, a couple of things. As you all know, I have a collection of books that I'm doing of threads that I've saved on 4chan that I considered interesting or curious or whatever. And as I was cleaning up my hard drives, I have two of these. That's all I need, really. I don't. I've saved that many things. So I was cleaning up my hard drives. I found a folder full of images and icebergs and stuff that I collected from 4chan over the years. And I was planning on doing a book. I may still do it. It's just, cut and paste and ship it off to Amazon. But I thought before I do the book, one thing that I can do um, that will be fun, at least for me, I don't know for you guys, but for me it'll be fun, is to make a video about it and talk about it. Talk a little bit about, what I've saved up from 4chan, especially from Poll and from X. But this is all Poll stuff. I have another folder which is for the X stuff. There's two threads that interest me in 4chan. One is the paranormal, and one is the political. And the reason that they interest me is that 4chan is one of the few places on the internet where I call it a containment site, maybe. Most unpopular, banned, and censored stuff gets posted. So, if anybody knows anything about me, if any of you guys know anything about me, I absolutely hate censorship. I think censorship is the death of creativity, is the death of everything worthwhile in mankind. If you censor it, it never gets out there. And of course, being, I guess I'm an ACLU type of guy, American Civil Liberties. Anyways, um, if you are against censorship as much as I am, self censorship tends to be the most difficult to fight. We all censor ourselves um, automatically. It's a survival mechanism of the species to censor some of our thoughts and ideas, and but you can't really fight against censorship if you censor yourself either, because part of what I consider the evolution of consciousness is to open yourself to ideas that may not be. Roberto Chan, ¿cómo estamos? Aquí discutiendo 4chan. Disculpa, voy regreso al inglés porque estaba pensando en inglés. So part of what we do as humans is to censor ourselves, and the only way to combat that is to look at yourself clearly and try to see what fuels your ideas. So, having said that, I'm going to go into the screen, and we're going to see my 4chan folder, which begins with obviously my book, um, Which Way White Man, shit posting on 4chan is Epic by Robin Kazmarchek. This book is available on Amazon, and you are welcome to take a look at it. You're welcome to buy it. Um, it's not one of my best 4chan compilations because I was not really getting the hang of it yet. I was just um, fiddling around with doing it, and I got to turn the notifications off of my phone, and it's very distracting, and yeah. So it was my first book on this. A lot of the images are cropped. They're badly placed. They're not, they bleed off on the page, as I did more of these, I perfected the system so that that doesn't happen anymore. So I'm gonna use my Windows thingy because when I do the presentation, it shows the images larger, but I can't scroll and I can't play with them. So I'm just gonna use my image viewer. The zombies, I mean, we're all turning into YouTube zombies. Some of the tribes that fought against the European invasion of this continent, and they're considered warriors. And oh man, my computer's slowing down. See that? It doesn't like it. When I start doing too much stuff, the computer starts to screw up for me. But here we go. Uh, can't I show you the whole image? There we go. Warriors, defenders, liberators. Well, you know, yes and no, because they also displaced other tribes, especially like the Aztecs. You know, they pretty much beat everybody into submission. Um, the Mexica, they were called. They pretty much beat up everybody else into submission, and they forced everybody to obey their rules and their ideas. And then the Spanish came along and they beat them out of the job. So our usual sympathies go to the losing team, but the truth is that in human affairs, the winning team is always the one that gets to write the stories, right? So, all right, let's keep going here. Uh, hold on. God, this machiney. There we go. Okay, the feet of Krishna. And prominent in the feet of Krishna, you're going to see the swastikas, you know. Look at that. But also, like, you know, a palace and an umbrella and a trident. And I don't even know what that is. There's a mace. So the symbols, a bow, sacred symbols in the feet of Krishna, a turtle, a fish. So very interesting. And this has to do with the art of feet reading of the Hindus, which I find utterly fascinating. Oh, this is the Tren Maya and the ecological impact it's going to have on species and everything. Any of you guys that have played Sim City will realize automatically that when you bring it into you bring a train or you bring a road into an empty place, a natural habitat, it's going to cause people to move in and further degrade the natural habitat. So the Mayan train, you can say anything you want about it, but it's going to bring more people in, more people, more destruction, more construction of buildings, which is dead zones to native animal species and plant species, as I've discussed ad infinitum. So, you know, you could make all the national parks you want. At the end of the day, people move in, they take the animals and the flora out, and we can see that right here in this picture. It's pretty. This is an ad for for new residential areas. And look at this. This is the reason we call it desertification. Now, if you look at this, this is dead space, and it's dead space that has the only interest of bringing in human habitation and human transportation. But basically, to the rest of the species and the animals and everything that it lives in here, it's dead. So pretty sad. All right. some war images. Look at that guy's face, man. I mean, you look at this guy's face, and it tells the whole story. This is war. This is what it does to men. Men are destroyed by it. Whether it's a drug war or any war, the end result is not very happy campers. Cowspiracy is a good movie. I recommend it. I almost watched it complete. It's like there's a lot of those movies about how how they treat factory animals. Man, it's pretty nasty. I love this picture. This is the Aztecs and how they used to live. This is it's a representation. It's not necessarily the reality of it, but this is what used to be here before Mexico City took over, and here it is with color. And look at that beautiful image. Yeah, they ate human hearts. That's part of what they did. What can I tell you? Swastikas around the world. The swastika is a sacred symbol that appears everywhere. The different cultures. Let's see. It doesn't show the whole. Yeah, if I pull back a little. Oh, here we go. That's as far as I can pull back, actually. Interesting. But I'll reduce it so you can see it. Swastika and swastika. Let me do this. There we go. Swastikas and swastika in different cultures and historical examples. Yeah, the swastika of our typical symbol. Now, the swastika basically symbolizes the movement of the sun. When you figure that one out, it's pretty. Or the movement of the galaxy. And, some people say it's one way, the other. But basically, it's a very powerful, amazing symbol that ties in a lot of the here's an interesting one. Jewish Hebrew Israeli swastika. Look at that. But you didn't know that existed. So never take a symbol by its cover. I guess never read a book by its cover. Never judge a book by its cover. The swastika is a symbol of. The way I use it is vanquish demons. It vanquishes demons. The swastika is a symbol to vanquish demons, and I really love it, and I have it everywhere in the house, and I'm going to keep making swastikas because that's a beautiful thing to do. And when you start demonizing symbols, and like this symbol here, the old 666, the Star of David, here shown in the swastika, right? 6 points, 6 triangles, 6 angles, 666, right? Well, you can demonize it. You can make it into like a bad symbol, but in fact, it's a representation, a very ancient representation of the combination of yin and yang, of feminine and masculine energies, the sun and the earth. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. I'm not going to get into it right now because that's not the point. But just demonizing it and making it like a bad symbol, bad idea, very bad idea. Okay, the famous Illuminatus cards, New World Order, living in interesting times, and things are getting weird. Not even the secret masters are sure what's going on. Unfortunately, this makes them grumpy, and they tend to argue a lot, slam doors, and destroy small nations. This is the Illuminati cards. This card may have either two effects. The person who plays it must choose one and declare when the card is played. No gold is valid except the basic gold. Number of groups controlled. Yeah. I actually bought decks when I was like in Hollywood, in school. Um, but it just went out with the bathwater of my early life. This is a very funny video. It's an MPEG. I don't know if I can play it here. I don't know if it plays, but this cop, the little girl's like, in this car, and suddenly this car is like, "Hey, where are you going?" And she panics and freaks out and jumps out of the car and starts running. And he grabs her and catches her. It's like a very funny video. I did, again, poll stuff, 4chan. Seven density model of consciousness. I always take these with a grain of salt, but sometimes they are, not that stupid. Like, seven density is pure energy, all objective awareness, divine essence. Sixth density is pure energy, unified thought forms. I guess that would be like the illithids. Fifth density, soul nexus, the bardo. Fourth density, pliable reality, ET, ghosts, paranormal. The third density, physical humanity. Second density, well, see, now there I disagree because I put these two together. Actually, I put all these three together, all living things. Well, particularly the betas say it's things with eyes, mouth, and nose, and they are our brothers and sisters. Why put them below us when it is very evident that they are just a little different, more physical, less. But anyways, that's just my point of view. Um, these quotes, man, these quotes break me. A lot of the conspiracy about the Great Replacement and everything, um, well, it's because of quotes like these. The revolution will not happen with guns. Rather, it will happen incrementally, year by year, generation by generation. It will gradually infiltrate their educational institutions and their political offices, transforming them slowly into Marxist entities as we move towards universal egalitarianism. Man, I'm better the dead than red. Israel Cohen. We must realize that our party's most powerful weapon is racial tension. Oh, hello, Israel Cohen. Now, pounding into the consciousness of the dark races for the centuries they have been oppressed by the whites, we can mold them into the program of the Communist Party. Anglo-Jewish reader, writer, and journalist, Israel Cohen. So when you start reading this stuff, and there's a lot of it. I mean, there's a lot of these people. This guy Tim Wise, I actually like Tim Wise, and some of his things he's not that stupid, but you're on the endangered list, and like say the bald eagle or some exotic species, the muskrat, you're not worth saving. In 40 years or so, maybe fewer, there won't be any more white people around. There's nothing you can do. I don't know if he was joking or what the frack he was on. That when you start talking like that about, wholesale genocide, man, you ain't got your head straight. There is no Al Qaeda. And who said this? Former British Secretary Robin Cook, Inter-Services. Okay, there's no Al Qaeda, he says. Oh, notable holders of the Walt Disney Company. Vanguard Group. Oh, we've heard about these guys before, haven't we? The famous Vanguard Group. Uh, BlackRock, Institutional Trust Company. We've heard about them, haven't we? BlackRock, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Jeepers. I wonder who else. We've heard about these people. Okay, these I absolutely adore. It's 4chan's kind of like reductionist philosophies about the red pills and the blue pills. Let's take a look at these. These are funny as hell. A little stupid but funny, and some of them are not that bad. Unenlightened red pill, unpleasant, argumentative, and opinionated, compensates for lack of personal accomplishment by developing with the success on his face. delusions of persecution, and of course, that is the red pill. Let's take a look at the neo-Nazi literature with less citations. Let's take a the enlightened green pill. Enigmatic and charismatic, intelligent, spiritual, philosophical, opponent of the Illuminati. Who the frack are the Illuminati, anyways? Political, non-Euclidean, aura of containment and wisdom, latent physical abilities, expert in tantra, has been contacted by ETs, has seen the Snords. Okay, so this is like the good, that's the blue pill. It's got to be the green pill, blue pill. Okay, let's see what the blue pill says. Unenlightened, blue pill, indoctrinated, believes in left versus right, easily offended, herd mentality, addicted to distractions, incapable of independent thought, concerned with social standing. Okay, bread and circus. That's the blue pill. Indigo pill, enlightened. Oh, I like the indigo pill. Look at this guy. Knows more than you could ever want to or care to know. Driven completely insane by power and superiority. Supporter of the Illuminati, if not a member. Keeps CTs in his mom's basement. Latent talent for magic. Arrogant. Believes that plebes need to be controlled by higher power. Supports degeneracy and social decay from the shadows in order to intentionally. And this guy is actually, according to this guy, enlightened. I like it. Believes in ushering in the New World Order. It'll be for the best. Hails Satan all day. Knows how to summon a succubus. Okay. Unenlightened white pill. Selfish, cocky. Suspects the world is fucked but doesn't care enough to understand how or why. Lives his life how he wants and will go along with just about anything as long as he can keep doing whatever. Okay. And finally, brown pill, enlightened, has a cool walking stick. Okay, let's see his cool walking. Yeah, he's got a cool walking stick. Wise, secluded, but pessimistic. Has smoked weed with ETs. This is definitely me, man. I'm a brown pill guy. Views the struggles of the green pill against the NW as futile. Impossible to offend in any way to the point that he's almost disturbingly comical. Me. Believes in mainstream corrupt believes materialism corrupts everything and will bore you to death with lectures if you disagree with him or this is me. Latent spiritual powers. He has the other realm during meditation. Yeah. Focus on his enlightenment. Yep. Totally not a Jedi. Eh. Plans to side with whoever wins in battle. With the Illuminati since he believes he won't matter in the end. Kind of. I mean, when you start talking about genociding people and shit, I'm not into genociding people or animals for that. We're in sixth mass of extinction. Talking about killing people is so fracking stupid that I do side against whoever doesn't want to kill people. Seriously, that stick. Powerful aura, shield, flocko, mind control. Okay, cool. And enlightened. Okay, this is the enlightened position of Paul. Natty physique, Neoplatonist diet, avoids all GMOs and toxins, avoids the degenerate path that killed the fallen zzz. Master of the third position, has tamed the oldest tiger. Thrives in the obscurity created by the red pill's useful idiocy. Uses mind-altering substances sparingly, has contacted Mother Europa, knows that true men will win the great spiritual struggle. Might makes right. That's Nietzsche. Has integrated his lost aesthetic arts of the Norsemen, Romuva, Druids, and Gregorian monks. No homo. Radiates Volkish aura of martial powers. Oh, there you go. That's the pills and Pole. The Pole pills. These are some of the Pole approved books. Alan Watts. Oh, Alan Watts. Hello, Alan Watts. Found you on Pole, man. You got to be pretty cool. Bolshevist Revolution, America's secret establishment, Toll and everything. Gurdjieff. I have read many of these books, by the way. And I don't know if I read all of them, but certainly I've read this one, this one, this one. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much. Yep. This. Oh, here we go. This here, man. This Robert Anderson and how to become green pilled. This is the green pill book list, and yeah, they are definitely French knowledge. That's cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. Okay. I'm just gonna scroll through all of them so you can see them. I have actually read most of these. Definitely, I'm missing a few. Like this one, I haven't read. This one I haven't read. Black Flame. What's this all about? Oh, it doesn't. I can't. Shit, I can't read it. This I don't know what it is. What is this? Ah, frickin' small pictures, man. I hate. Can't dialect and enlightenment. Okay. Uh, I don't know what these two are. I wish I did. The N.Y. Adorno. I haven't read. Marshall McLuhan, important reading, manufacturing consent, Noam Chomsky. Yeah, I mean, this is all good stuff. William Reich, good grief, that's important. Oh, I don't see any young, but it's probably in there. Aleister Crowley, Nietzsche, uh, Crawley, Crawley, Crawley. Well, obviously, this guy likes Crowley. Oh, the Illuminatus trilogy. Yes, Robert Anton Wilson. I just made myself a member of the Robert Anton Wilson book club. That was kind of cool. The Stigmata, Schrodinger's Cat, T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, Ulysses. This thing is pure LSD. If you have not read Ulysses, you don't know what an LSD trip is. There's some books missing. Path to Immortality. Well, they say you only need to die. So this I always found interesting. This is an old article. It's been quoted ad infinitum by Paul. 30-year-old some guy marries an 8-year old, and it's totally legal. And it was actually pretty common back then. And so this whole like there's a lot of shit being hidden from us about what's going on within that front, and Paul is there trying to make it, you know, well, Paul is trying to make it even. They want to like age of consent of 25. They joke a lot about that. Let's make the age of consent 25. But in fact, I mean, child marriages in America were common. Not as common as they are maybe in Saudi Arabia or in Afghanistan, but they definitely were common. And people don't talk about that anymore. Oh, former British chief of black propaganda. Atrocity propaganda is how we won the war. Okay. And we're only really beginning with it now. We will continue this atrocity propaganda. We'll escalate it until nobody will accept that even a good word from the Germans, until all the sympathy they may still have abroad will have been destroyed, and they themselves will be so confused they will no longer know what they are doing. Once that has been achieved, once they begin to run down their own country and their own people, not recklessly, with an eagerness to please the victors, only then will our victory be complete. It will never be final. See these words right here. It will never be final. It's what I've been telling you guys on my books for ages. There's no third world war. I mean, we're saying we're in the third world war right now. Yes, okay, sure. But actually, it's more like the fifth or the eighth. If you start thinking of wars as uh, uh, racial things, man, it's been going on forever, and it's been like the colonization of Africa, the colonization of Latin America, the colonization of Asia, they were world wars, and we don't see them as such because we are looking at what they call world wars from a very European based point of view. And the European world wars are based on the fact that there are basically groups of Europeans fighting for control of the entire world. Not necessarily that Europeans are fighting the rest of the world for control of the other races, the territory of the rest of the races. But, I mean, good grief, man. We've been having world wars forever, you know? And like I said in my book, white people particularly are very good at genociding other people. And, if you don't believe me, study history. To learn who rules over you. By Mel Gibson, Three Beers. Okay, this is it's a very smart writer. He did not like black people. He did not like blacks. Okay. Uh, this here I found interesting. You got a firing squad. You know, swastika against the six-sided cross, six-sided star, and the little boy watching the murder, and the guy's dead, and instead of he lets go of the balloon and he grabs the swastika, and that's kind of the way it works. If you have a blood war or a race war, it never ends. There will always be somebody that looks at their own skin color or idea of right and wrong or whatever, and they will be of the vanquished group, the group that got vanquished, and they will just carry on the same fight. You can't kill every Palestinian and expect their sons and daughters not to go back and try to kill you. It's just it doesn't work that way. Humanity's not built that way. So we gotta bring this in. We gotta bring all this in. If we want world peace, man, we got to talk about this. Otherwise, we'll just be on World War 50, or we'll all be dead. Nazi art. Forbidden in Germany, by the way. This is a forbidden video in Germany. It's just, and I'm seriously concerned about YouTube's policy saying, oh, you can't post this on YouTube because we'll shut you down. Okay, do so, motherfuckers. I mean, I don't care. Truth about race. Race has no biological basis. Race is a social construct. Race is only skin deep. More variation within them than without them. Then races have more variation within them than between them. And here they're all debunking all that stuff with certain racial differences in intelligence are explained by social economic factors. The shit. There isn't any significant genetic distance between races. Well, there you go. That's old scientific stuff. And you know, thinking about race, hating another people is just plain stupid. To be a racist, I mean, to hate another race, whether you're a Jew hating a Palestinian or a German hating a Jew or whatever the fuck you are, if hate is the motivation behind your truth, well, you're gonna lose because I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe what we ultimately will learn is that once we get to understand the truth about our race and other races, the truth about race, once we actually get to understand the truth, not the make believe, the truth, the only place to go with it is compassion. Let's say, for instance, let's just give a for instance. Let's say that white people really are more destructive and evil than black people. Let's just turn it all around, right? Because this is all saying exactly the other way around. They're saying, black people are primitive and blah, blah, blah. Let's just say that it's the other way around. Let's say that white people are naturally intrinsically dedicated to the destruction of other races, which, according to the historical record, is plausible, right? Well, then we don't want to get rid of white people. No, because then we're just as bad as they are. We want to embrace them into the larger community of races and survive as a species. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say to you that um, we need to expand this beyond mankind. Man, if you look at some of the animal species that we routinely torture just to eat a hamburger or some pork chops or fried chicken, which I absolutely adore. Kentucky Fried Chicken, man, I love Kentucky Fried Chicken. I got to tell you, I am that monster. It is so fucking wrong. It is so fucking insanely immature spiritually, and yet I have an addiction to it. I cannot not eat chicken. I crave it. My entire body is based on the craving of poor animals that I don't even capture and kill, but just purchase. I don't. And we're so fracking intelligent that we can't get over it. Give me a break. I hope we're not doomed. I hope we're not totally doomed to destruction. But based on our species insanity and the total lack of honesty about what is true, the truth about race, what is true about race? Well, let's talk about it. And if we can't talk about it because, ooh, bad humans, we are fucked. I love these things. I think these are. It's one of the famous icebergs. Bruce Almighty, this is way too long, way too complicated. Project Bulubim, Omegle Exploration, Paradolia, Xbox versus PlayStation. My God, I don't know who this cat is that made this, but ooh, brother. And I'm probably gonna chop it into manageable pieces of information. But talk about information overload. This is it right here. Microsoft secret menus. Okay. Space Cthulhu, Moloch ceremonies. Bitcoin owned by Microsoft and Tesla. Robbie Williams. Supermarket, what? What? Home delivered basic supermarket goods. Okay, that's fracking weird. What is that all about? Noah's Ark hybridization program. Oh my God. Soldier Boy. Dead Dolls. Chaos. CIA equals fashion program. Backward trousers. Vietnam trauma hallucinations. Okay, this guy has gone through the entire thing, man. But all we can say is, well done, soldier. Okay, another one. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's. I don't, a lot of the stuff I agree with. A lot of the stuff I have no idea what they're talking about, but it's just amazing to see how the human mind goes into really deep places. And as we go down the rabbit hole, pedo wood, reptilians, Fourth Reich exists, astral plane, moon and soul, avians, lumber cartel. Lumber cartel is very important. If we talk about the lumber cartel, man, this thing here, the lumber cartel, this just try to figure out national parks. There's a lot to uncover here. I'm not even going to go into it right now, but this is real. Uh, Grand Unified, at the bottom of the thing, Grand Unified Conspiracy Theory. Iron Collider Summonos Ceres. There is no cabal. Bacterial humanity theory, history's faked. The one architect, Albielek's testimony. This I want to find out what the frack it is. Phantom time hypotheses. All fiction is true. Astral worlds. Okay, okay. Well, Godhood is possible. Time cube. Yeah, deep of the iceberg. It is said that the beauty of a transvestite or a single person is forgiveness. No, the beauty of a tapasi or a saintly person. It is said that the beauty of a tapasi or a saintly person is forgiveness. There are many instances in the spiritual history of the world in which saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. And this is by Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. No, 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 Hitler knew it, but he did not like to do it. Okay, interesting. Prabhupada in Germany, just like. So Prabhupada had some quotes about the war that are not very popular, I suppose, because they ended up in 4chan poll. God of War, Srimad Bhagavatam. This is interesting. Yarnashama Dharma. I guess it's a quote by Prabhupada about Hitler, but I don't get it. He was a good man. I don't believe that he killed so many Jews in concentration camps. Okay. Prabhupada had a lot of Jewish disciples, which I find interesting. I find curious and interesting. And definitely, I mean, as far as Prabhupada and Hitler, their biggest connection is vegetarianism, which I am not, by the way. Warmongers. Which of these men are warmongers? And this is an analysis of the actions of this man, Churchill, and this man, Hitler, right? German women suffered in largest mass rape in history by the Soviets. Surf the Kali Yuga. Agreed. I find this picture hilarious. I just find it so, hilarious. And here we go. These are the people that saying that, old Donnie boy, the pipes are calling. And, God, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't accuse him of anything. I mean, it's his daughter, man. He's got a right to put her in his lap. This was a whole thing. I don't know. I don't remember why I kept this. Why did I keep this? I forget. Anyways, this interesting. I mean, Paul is about the racial, spiritual aspect of facing Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, the three Abrahamic religions that are causing most of the trouble in the world right now. And the Pole people believe, or at least this guy does, because they're all different, right? That's the other thing, is that they all have different views and different ideas. You can't put them all in the one basket because it doesn't work that way. It's about the freedom of thought and the freedom of ideas that makes it interesting. But certainly the idea here is that Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are a three-headed beast of Abrahamic inspiration. Great Dog Soft, and another one. I saved a whole bunch of these. There's a lot of stuff there. I don't. There's a lot of things I don't know about here. Let's take at their suicide resets, universal mind and conscious hive mind hacking, Toy Story, Ms. Nesbitt caution, alien taxidermists, NPC librarians, Galactic Illuminati Federation. Life is perfect. A lot of this stuff I don't know. This here I would have to look into because there's a lot of new stuff in here. Uh, KFC, McDonald's, you know, but there's so many of those. There's so much information. Real shit creates real niggers. Real niggers be straight chillin'. Straight chillin' makes bitch niggers. Bitch niggers start some real shit. Okay. See, yeah, it's just bullshit, but it's funny. I love this movie. Left to Die, World is Fuck, Kill 'Em All, 2020, I'm a Biohazard. What? Dead Hand? Okay. Uh, so you're really going to take 500 UGs of LSD once a week and contemplate life and the future of mankind instead of wasting your time with Netflix, Pornhub, and literally every other unhealthy distraction. Oh my God, this is a national crisis. Did you even stock up on toilet paper? And where the fuck is your mask? Yes. God, I am not going to be. I hope they don't throw my channel into the garbage can for this. Albert Hoffman. In old times, and also in our time, among the Indian tribes, psychedelic substances were considered sacred, and they were used with the right attitude in a ritual and spiritual context. And with what a difference we compare with the careless and irresponsible use of LSD in the streets and in the discotheques of New York City and everywhere in the West. It's a tragic misunderstanding of the nature and the meaning of these kinds of substances. And that was said by no less than Mr. Albert Hoffman, the man with a plan to make LSD. And another one, I think in human evolution, it has never been as necessary to have the substance. LSD is just a tool to turn us into whatever we are supposed to be. Yes. This was mirrored by our friend Timothy Leary that my dad knew and made his movie. And when you're studying natural science and the miracles of creation, if you don't turn into a mystic, you're not a natural scientist. You shall know what I am, your father, and in ye me, and I in you. The promise constitutes the heart of my Christian beliefs. Christian to the end, funny. And my call to natural scientific research. We will attain to knowledge of the universe through the spirit of truth, and thereby to understanding our being with one with the deepest, most comprehensive reality, God, Albert Hoffman. So yeah, Christian, very Christian man. But there he is looking for, the truth. The only religion I respect is Islam. The only prophet I admire is the Prophet Muhammad, Adolf Hitler. Ahmed Huber quotes his friend Hitler in Kevin Coogan's book, The Mysterious Ahmed Huber, friend to Hitler, Allah and Bin Laden, Hitler, blah, 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 blah. Interesting. So it's not necessarily a true quote. What is this? It's hard to work discovered anything else about the visions that the pilgrims saw at Elysius. The shrine was astonishingly successful at guarding its mystery over a period of some of the authorities suggest may have been as long as 2,000 years of continuous functioning before it was finally closed by the Christian diktat of the 4th century AD. Okay. Hundreds of thousands passed through its gates down the ages, including some of the most famous names of classical Greece, such as Plato, Aristotle, Sophocles, but almost everyone stayed very quiet about what they had seen, which indeed they were obliged to keep secret on pain of death or banishment. We have few specifics, therefore, but many of the pilgrims there have survived more general reports telling us of the ritual of Elysius and the vicious scene were transformatory, and that afterwards they were never the same as before. Hello, Elicius. Very commonly, they claim to have utterly lost their fear of death and to be prepared for the life beyond in the land of the shadows. In the words of Sophocles, after his initiation at Eleusis, thrice happy are those of mortals who, having seen those rites, depart for Hades. For them alone is granted to have the true life there. For the rest, there is evil. The poet Pindar likewise said, what he saw, what he had seen validated the continuity of existence beyond the grave, that he had learned great truths from the experience at Elysius. Happy is he who, having seen the rites, goes below the hollow earth, for the knows the end of life, and he knows it's a God sent beginning. Okay. This is very funny. Delivery, we got your pizza and hot dogs from Chicago. It's about the famous pizza gate theory. Hillary was eating babies without salt. I really like you and I want to marry you. No, you're kind of ugly. Would you marry your daughter to me in exchange of all these animals? Yes. Oops. That is the most politically incorrect meme I've seen in a long time. But guys, if we can't make a joke out of it, if we can't make fun out of this shit, we're all in trouble. Why cannabis is really illegal? Well, we all know. I mean, we've made a lot of videos about this. I don't need to go through it here. Just it's here. It's all in there. We can show you, and we can. And guess what? It's not illegal anymore. So there is hope for our species. South African whites being murdered by black black um, revenge gangs. Uh, Real picture. Canaanite gods, ancient Rome, modern day. Okay, here's these guys that are. There's a ongoing theory that Wall Street is just the worship of Moloch and all that, and it makes sense emotionally. I don't know exactly how much sense it makes uh, in real truth. However, if anything has taught us, if reality has taught us anything, is that the ultimate currency is the souls of men. Slavery, be it white slavery, child slavery, whatever type of slavery, enslaving other peoples is what people do. People enslave each other, and you know, what can I tell you, man? It's money slavery, money slavery, slavery of debt. And we've talked about that before. So it's possible. It's possible that there is some darker thing going on there. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I wouldn't throw it out with wouldn't throw the baby with the bathwater. I mean, something is going on, and it's about powerful people taking advantage of people without power. And the vast majority of people don't have any power, and powerful people usually don't like to be confronted with their deeds. Eh, Serves on the board of directors. I don't know who that is. Can't read his name, so we'll go on. 4chan, the real world, internet. So 4chan is like, yeah, we're chilling. And the real world is like, no. If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Fuck you, nigga. That's funny. Um, Jesuit Inquisition. Now, this thing, Jesuit order of monks, it's a very powerful group of people. I've done a little digging, not much, but little digging on it. And yeah, there was shit going on with that. Women always choose the best genes, and the best genes belong to the alpha predators, like this guy. If you need to clarify that, you don't understand anything I'm going to say. The virgin trash transhuman, the Chad Overman. Okay, that's funny. I love these. Pepe, tactical Pepe. Okay. Virgin and Prim, Echo, Chad Echo Flash. Okay. I guess that would be one of these. Oh, these are fantastic. These are just okay. These are kind of like the this is so incredibly racist and nasty, but it's funny though. It's funny, you know. Blue pilled, civilized. Gopniks are backwaters, you know. Poos are backwaters. I would disagree with this. Actually, the Poos, Hindus, are very fucking civilized. They have the first civilization. Uh, Bong, civilized. Yeah, that's pretty cringe, man. That is pretty cringe. I will find every shitlord and waifu, and it will be the best waifu they've had because no one finds better waifus than I do. God, I swear to God, I can we talk about Keck? Okay. Political technology industry landscape. Yeah, this pretty much explains everything right here. This is kind of what's really going on. There are some very powerful companies with some very powerful people that have huge vested interests uh, in having shit go the way they want it to go. And they're going to fight tooth and nail to make sure the vision of what you got to buy and sell remains truthful to their program of control of natural resources. Because really, what it's about. I mean, if you think about it in the larger sense, basically it's about the control of natural resources. What are natural resources? Water, arable land, um, you know, wood, water, animals. Kind of what Charlie Manson was talking about. I want to live like I lived like this when I was growing up. Not exactly this bad. I mean, like, we were clean and we had a little bit more money than this, but basically this was my childhood. In South Carolina, Grandma B. This trailer looks a lot like Great Grandma's trailer. Not Grandma B's, but Great Grandma's. And yeah, but I mean, no beer cans, obviously, because Grandma had a nice garden. I had to do the gardening, and it was a lot cleaner because we cleaned up. But it was basically that. So this is me. This is what I'm all about, in a sense. And yeah, babies have to live in poverty. I think this is the Appalachians. But I remember living in the trailer for, my childhood was a trailer. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Black pride, gay pride, Asian pride, white pride. Okay. This is demographic maps. I love these. I love this quote. And I, for one, will join in with anyone. I don't care what color you are, as long as you want to change this miserable condition that exists on this earth. Malcolm X. Yes, sir. I agree. Yeah, and guess what? Then I found out that you can't change the world. The world changes you, and you can only kind of like what's the word? You will do what you have to do. Like this video right now. Right now, I'm doing what I got to do. I got to show you these pictures because they're important to me. I saved them for a reason. I wanted to show them to you. and they're worth saving, and they're quotes that I like, like the Albert Hoffman, the Malcolm X, the Adolf Hitler, and there's shit that people need to know, in my point of view, whatever color, creed, or whatever you are. But at the same time, I don't put a lot of faith in you guys to get the joke. I The truth is that most of you guys, I mean, if you're watching my channel, maybe you got the joke. Not a lot of people are attracted to my channel for this very reason. But most of you guys would rather watch, you know, uh, what's the most popular YouTube right now? Um, Chris Chan or whatever. It's like it's very difficult to get people to really see shit. And then there's so many people. It's kind of like, how are we going to change so many? They're just going to devour the planet, and there's very little we can do about it. Faggotry, advanced faggotry. I like that. It's a nice picture. The Chad China versus the Virgin United States. Yep, I tend to agree with this. I think China is going to win this new century because it has more people. They are more, shall we say, racially coherent, and they don't backtrack on their things. Now, the United States has a beauty behind it that it surprises you. It sometimes comes up with this, like the whole idea of the CIA, for instance, right? The CIA gets all the SS soldiers, the best ones, and gets them to work for them, and then props up Israel. I mean, it just the things that the United States does are so crazy sometimes they may just work. But I do see China as a lot more cohesive and like oh, you can't see the more cohesive and less self-destructive in its principles and its things. And then there's the little fact that Chinese are willing to eat dogs and Americans actually don't. So the dog eaters shall inherit the world. I love her. She's so pretty. I love her. She's so pretty. I mean, say whatever you want to say about Hillary Clinton, but she's hot. Jews are not a race. They're white people with extremist ideology. I tend to agree with that. Except that, Semitically speaking, there's when you start going into the genome program, when you start looking into people's genes, not only are there races, but there's sub races, and it's like very clear that people are very specific, and they're very like I mean, can you tell she's Jewish? Obviously not. She could be a Methodist, Lutheran, or but she apparently is a Jewish girl. So I had a couple of Jews tell me, "Oh, I'm not white," and I was like, "Have you looked in the mirror lately, dude?" The Roman Empire is uh, the ultimate keck. I disagree. I think the Roman Empire was very specific to Roman interests and the interests of very specific families that many of them are still in control, like the Venetian families that did all the banking. Classical values, religion chart, Christianity, classic paganism, and atheism. Okay. Um, yeah. Here we go. Devil's Bridge. Sterilization of depressed people. Paul is dead. Iceberg of creepypastas. Uranium on the moon. We are the aliens. Moses Code. Golf rumors. The nobody. Okay, cool. This guy. You must understand the leading Bolsheviks who took over Russia were not Russians. They hated Russians. They hated Christians. Driven by ethnic hatred, they tortured and slaughtered millions of Russians without a shred of human remorse. It cannot be overstated. Bolshevism committed the greatest human slaughter of all time. The fact that the most of the world is ignorant and caring about this enormous crime is proof that the global media is in the hands of the perpetrators. If you have not read this fellow, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, you should. Did not like you Jews, though, that's for sure. What is this? The Black Sun, esoteric Hitlerism. Okay. Spooky. Peekaboo, zombie Jesus, spooky. What is this? Bilderberg Group as these are actually the Zog info list must be from there's a group called Stormfront, and I think they're probably many of the folks that compile these things. They do not like Jewish people. World government. I don't like rich people. I don't care if they're Jews or blacks or whites. Very powerful people. They tend to have, or maybe I do like them because I'm just jealous. Maybe I'm just envious. I don't know. The world government. Again, all these. You start going through. It's too big. It's like huge. How can you go through all of it? The Kabbalah, Switzerland. Oh, this is interesting. They take the tree of life and they put the pharaohs of Egypt, Babylon, Canaanites. Um, a lot of these Christian identity folks, they have some pretty freaky connections, but this looks more like somebody that took a lot of LSD and had some very strong visions of satanic shit going on around the world. Still, though, interesting to read it. You will never escape this world. Blah, 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 blah. Strange occurrences. I shall meditate on these. And there's recognize this guy? Demiurge. Demiurge, sir. Disrespect, but what the hell was that back there on the material plane? Thought it might be fun to play along with a purple pill game. Did I do something bad? No, thankfully, we were able to repair the damage before the damage to the universe, before it could spread across Gaia. But as we have told you time and time again, this is not a game. The fate of our world, as well as others, rests on your patience. I'm sorry. Now, Monads Demiurge, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Is that understood? Yeah. Sniffle. Yes, green pill, I think. I understand. I don't want to be a pie more than I already am. The raw substance and all the material pie in the universe is made of. I must be returning now. As always, thank you for your patronage, patience, and perseverance, my old friend. Gadzooks. Pie browns, brown pills, words make sense at last. Gadzooks, pie. Brown pill's words make sense at last. I have much more to meditate on now than any time before. Silent psychic nod of mutual understanding. Okay, that's see this is the reason I serve 4chan, man. This shit like this, it's just too good. Transcendental meditation exposed. Yeah, I've heard about this before. Yeah, I don't. I've done some, and I didn't do any. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I have better medicines right now. Okay, I'm just talking about skin deep. There are definite uh, skeletal differences in the races. So you know, we cannot deny that there are different types of humans. That we are not just one big happy family. We are many families. And respecting that small, tiny little and very important element, it is so clear to me that it needs to be done if we are going to survive as a species. Because otherwise, we're going to say, oh, we're all the same. And we're not. We are not all the same. Guys, we are not all the same. We're all different. We all deserve, whatever it is that we deserve. But if we start saying we're all the same, the guys that are not the same, the really alpha humans, will devour everybody. And again, this is the genetic differences in man. What are these? Three generations: half blood, quadroon, octagoon granddaughter. Okay, well there you go. More um, maps of genetic difference between humans, American buffalo, number of subspecies, 501. Okay, so Principles of Population Genetics, very important book. What the frick is this? It's another genetic map. Um, Dad, why do dogs look different? Because of their breed, son. Why are some big and some small? Their genes, of course. Why are some clever and others not? Economic factors. That's pretty frickin' racist too. But again, if we can't talk about it, if we just censor it, it'll come back and bite us in the ass stronger. So let's talk about it. This is an actual, very clear map of genetic information. Another genetic map. Average IQ in France has fallen. IQ, diversity, benefits of diversity, source of immigrants, Mexico, Germany, Ireland. Okay. White, Asian, black, more racial stuff. Again, saying there's only one race and it's the human race, right? But we can see that it's not the fact. We can see it even, it's only skin deep. Why are people different when they're albinos? And there's the proof. There's the craniums. You go to a forensic doctor and you say, oh, this is a black guy, it's a white guy, because there are differences. There are very clear differences. It's all about race differences. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's true. I don't care whether it's good or bad I care about it being true. And look, I'm a mixed race guy. I mean, my mom is Mexican, my dad is American. My dad is definitely white trash. I mean, poor white families are, not very clever. Asians are more intelligent, but it's the truth. I mean, if we can't look at the truth of ourselves, we're in trouble. What the frick is this? Evolutionary biology. Wuzang. Frick, hive brain development. The frick is this? Yeah. Whoa. Dorsoventral dural tube patterning. Biosynthetic process. Vesicle talking during exocytosis. Exos, exocytosis. Biosynthetic process. Osteoblast development. Zinc transport. Sperm motility. Fat cell different. Oh, okay. I get it. So we're going from more complex organisms to less complex organisms, starting with heart and protein transport. So when first you have like the sponges and mushrooms, they transport proteins. Then you have the development of a heart. All worms have heart, uh, transmembrane receptors for protein, cell proliferation, possible regulation. This is how I guess they're seeing how things evolve into more complex organisms, which I find interesting. Philia. Democracy. For Aristotle, democracy is only possible within homogeneous ethnic groups, while despots have always reigned over highly fragmented societies. And Aristotle knew the Romans, so he knew what the frack he was talking about. Roman was very, very ethnically diverse, but there was Roman families that ruled over everybody. There still is, even now. Okay, so this is very interesting. Aristotle was no fool. Okay, again, the skulls, intelligence, species. Can't read it. Downside of diversity hurts. Diversity hurts civic life. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do see homogeneous societies as more cohesive. Just look at the Chinese. This is one of those conspiracy things about the 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 cube, the Mecca. Fascinating though. I mean, if you look into it and you don't lose your mind, it's pretty freaking interesting. Of course, the companies that are ruling everything and their satanic symbolism. Aryan Brotherhood, San Quentin State Prison. That's where they found it. Allies, Mexican Mafia, the Sureños, Sinaloa cartels, Hells Angels, the Vagos, Nazi lowriders, Ku Klux Klan. Very interesting, isn't it? Who would say that the Aryan Brotherhood is allied to the Mexican Mafia? There it is. Another, another of these things. Farland's Hero Brine, building past 255, Dutch brother. Enchantment table, hidden language, craftable LSD. Craftable LSD, I mean, I've been working on that. Not so easy, by the way. If you don't have a laboratory, it's kind of like, I mean, yes, there are things you can do, but trust me, it's not the same. Chicken AI, secret commands, mind calm. Okay, interesting. A lot of stuff I don't know. The secret of spiritual life, to think that I am the Atman and not the body, and that the whole of the universe with all its relations, all its good and bad, its evil, but a series of paintings, scenes on a canvas, and I am the witness. Swami Vivekananda. Let me read that again because that deserves to be read again. This is the secret of spiritual life, to think that I am the Atman and not the body, and that the whole of this universe, with all its relations, with all its good and all its evil, is but a series of paintings, scenes on a canvas, of which I am the witness. Gondor calls for aid, sending positive energy. Another Rainbow Files, Heaven's Lake, Dennis Rodman contribution, Annals of Shozon. Oh, this is a Korean thingy. Fucking A. It's a Korean. Kim Jong does not sleep. The People of the Woods. Okay documentary. Bubble Weapon. The war ended in 1642. Supreme leaders from this is a Korean a Korean um, iceberg. Uh, what did I keep? I don't know what this is. We are not afraid. We have a large following on Reddit with millions of comrades sympathizing with us. Basement dwellers. Ha ha ha. Why did I keep? Why did I hold? What is this about? I already found you, your family, where you live, where you work. I'm going to email your place of employment. Blah blah blah. I don't. I have no idea why I've saved this. Is your baby racist? We are Americans. Gender revolution. The new Europeans, and of course, blame the Jews. See, it's easy to blame the Jews, but I blame everybody. I blame ourselves, man. Whatever's happening to our society, it's everybody's fault. Tolkien thought an American victory. Tolkien thought that an American victory may be worse for Britain, mind and spirit, than a Nazi victory, since America is still all sanitation, morale, pep feminism, and mass production, while Germany, a country that values community with the past. Tolkien, by the way, hated the German Nazis. His Lord of the Rings is about that, in a sense. Chad Occultist, paranormal investigator. This is funny. So the Chad Occultist, he's got a heart and everything, and this guy's got his tinfoil hat and everything. This is funny. I'm getting tired of this, guys. Are you? Uh, God, an hour. Let's just see if there's anything that strikes our fancy. No, I think that's the last one. No. Let's see if there's anything that strikes our fancy. Lightning the Sun, Savati Devi, Chad Tripper, Psychonaut, Mexican Uprising, Uma Uma, Mainstream Media Lies. This is interesting. This is the idea that the Anunnaki are actually black, and why not? Hey, why not? The Frog God. Oh, this is spooky, man. Check out this Illuminati Frog God thing. It is so clear that he was into something. Yeah, yeah, because to get the Illuminati cards. All right, guys, I'm fed up. There's so much more to go in here. There's a lot of stuff to go in here. Um, a lot of stuff to uncover. But you see now what it's all about. I mean, this is Pole. This is here you go. Back to Pole. False flag. Yeah, it's happening. Master race. Blah blah blah. The Jews. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of icebergs that I could. She's so pretty. This guy was right. This guy's like, I wish he would have burned all those people. Maybe he would have been, but nobody was paying attention otherwise. So he did something right. Nuremberg trials. How America is going to be balkanized. Yuri Brezhnov. This this I got to read. Four stages of ideological subversion: demoralization, educated an entire generation in Marxist ideology; destabilization, economy, foreign relations, and defense systems; crisis, violent change of power, structured economy; normalization, period of stability until you've reached the next crisis point. So we are going now through the crisis stage. The crisis stage is that there's a shooting war in Ukraine. There's a shooting war in Israel. There's a shooting war in Mexico, if you consider the drug war, and they want to normalize it so that it can be ongoing, an ongoing process where folks don't really have a choice in the matter of these wars. I mean, if you think about it, you don't really have a choice in the matter. When your government goes to war, you don't have a banner. You can't choose not to go to war. Your government is putting you in war against this or that, and you're either with them or you're against them. And if you're against them, then you're one of the enemy. So it's very clear that we are going through these phases. And if we look at the COVID and everything, well, it's pretty evident. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that we have reached this area right here. What's coming next is this. And is it all about? Is it all about? Um, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Um, this this I find funny. People of color, yeah, there's more colors here than here. That's for sure. Um, there's more. Avian Atlantis. There's more repetition in these historical processes than folks know. I mean, folks that study history will understand it, but folks that don't care about history will not understand it. But there is a repetitive process in all these things. I mean, there is like if you look at history, you can see how the power of the rich over the poor is strengthened by these wars. More. Oh, this is weird. Neo Fontana. Kind of love these icebergs. Too many though. So got to think about this for a second. What is this all about? Make America think again. Okay, slut and proud. What? Destroy my pussy, not the earth. What? Black boys are cute, not scary. Okay, sure, Ben, but what from that to this? Why is it? Is it a? Is it like a? I don't know. I Certif is PTG alt account. It's interesting. I wish I had the time and the energy to go through these. This is interesting. Uh, I wish I had the time and the energy to go through all of these like carefully, like but there's so much stuff. It's just overwhelming amount of information, and I'm just one tiny little human being. I don't have that much time in my life. But I mean, obviously, if I have them here, I looked at them, and a lot of the stuff is repeated. And obviously, I suppose that a lot of these folks are kind of jealous that they're not the Illuminati, because who wouldn't want to be the Illuminati, right? But maybe they're just, you know, and Illuminati is such a silly word on top. It's like everybody talks about the Illuminati. It's code for the rich, the very rich, the the 1%, 1%ers. Again, the assassination of Lee Harvey Oswald, the swamp, the royals are big in there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna go through them all right now because it's been I already made it too long. This video. I just want to show you what you can find on 4chan poll, and it's interesting. It is interesting. It is Definitely very fascinating. You know, that right there. Look at that. Did you guys ever figure that one out? Speaking of swastikas, right? Uh, Krampus. Love Krampus, a big team. A North American Navy in the chat, Aztec. Chad Chichabank and the Virgin Conquistador. Love those. Anime girls are okay. This we gotta check this one out. Anime girls are aliens in disguise. How about that? How about that? This brother saved his sister from a pit bull. I just had to save that. That was so awe-inspiring. Look this bite that the dog took over his face. Man. He saved her. He saved his life. No, porque me quería enfocar en lo que estaba haciendo. Pero mañana hacemos una lectura en vivo. ¿Ah? Los quiero. Bye. For you English speakers, tomorrow we'll do the live reading. Love you. Bye. Doesn't turn off now. Oh, there we go. Dora. Hola, Robin.